yesterday. Like when we were speaking last evening, we were talking about yoga, isn't it? Yoga. From there, we discovered that it was just 2 minutes, so we had to, conclude our speech. So, what does yoga mean? You know, so this yoga, or in Sanskrit, it's called yog. This has come from this root word yuja. Okay, so when you use different suffixes with this word, with this root word yuja, it becomes three different meaning. So the first meaning of yoga is samadhi. Have you heard this name of samadhi? This word samadhi. Samadhi. Samadhi means the state of super consciousness. Means we know three states. One is conscious, one is subconscious, and the other is unconscious. That is now the state in which we are is called conscious state. This state is called conscious. We are aware about our environment. We are aware about everything. We are aware about our own existence, as well as we are aware about all the existences which are surrounding us. So this is called conscious state. The next one is subconscious.
Angelina, please come with me.
So the next state is called subconscious. That is, we slowly move into another state where we are not aware about our surroundings, but we are only aware about those which are within the depth of our mind. Okay, means in dream you don't know where you are sleeping. In dream you are not aware about who is sleeping, with you, or where are you sleeping. You are not aware about anything, but you are aware about the deepest part of your mind where your experiences are all stored. Okay, so that state is called subconscious. And there is another state which is called unconscious. Means sometimes we have a sleep where we don't dream. That is dreamless sleep. A sleep where there is no dream at all, where I am not aware about anything. I am not aware about who am I, where am I, how am I. I am not aware about anything. But when I come back, I feel happy, I feel peace. So that state where I am not aware about neither my environment nor myself is called unconscious. So a human being passes through these three states: conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. So when we take this conscious state, we are aware about ourselves. We are aware about our environment, but we are not aware about the consciousness by which we are conscious. Understand? I'm conscious. I can see, I can feel, I can hear, I can talk. But how? How am I doing this? I am doing this with the help of consciousness. But I don't see that consciousness. I don't feel that consciousness. I feel everything which I feel or hear or think or know through consciousness. I'm seeing you. I'm seeing you with the help of light. But I don't see the light. I see you. I'm not aware about the light. So in the same way, we are going through our life. We are becoming aware about our own self, about our existence, about our environment, but we are not aware about that consciousness by which we are conscious. So this super conscious state or samadhi means when you are aware about your consciousness. When you are aware about that consciousness, that is called super conscious state. So that is called samadhi. Okay. The other other meaning of yoga is union. Union with God. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, there is a sloka, there is a verse called Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tektva Dhananjaya. Yogastha, by being united. By being united, then you do all your actions. Then you perform your actions. Now, united with whom? I am united with my body. I am conscious about my body. So I am united with the body. I am united with this world also because I am conscious about this world. I know this world. I am united with my mind, with my intellect, with my ego. So I'm already united with something. But Krishna says, Yogastha Kuru Karmani. By being united, then you do all your karmas. So this union with the body or the mind or the intellect or the ego or the surrounding is actually not a union. It is a delusion. He's talking about another union. There is another union. This union is the union with the Supreme Self, which we call God, which we call Atman, which we call God or Atman or the Self or the Supreme or Absolute, whatever, People call it Allah, people call it Jesus, God. So these are all words. But the fact is, the one who is that consciousness cannot be defined. He cannot be expressed. So here he is talking about that existence with whom we have to attach. We have to mix, we have to unite. So this is another meaning of yoga. And there is another third meaning of yoga. Like yoga means the means to live. Like for living, I need food. That is also yoga. Yoga also means that. I need money. I need clothes. I need friends. I need a house. So these are also yoga. Okay. So yoga has three meanings. Now, how can this yoga be attained? How can we attain this state of yoga? Because we are not in the state of yoga, and that is why we have been told about this state of yoga. That is when we have been reminded. Actually, spirituality is not, it's not a dialogue. It's not a speech given to you. It is an effort to remind you. We have forgotten this. We have forgotten who we are. Like a small boy, a child, a small kid. He goes to a gathering, he goes to a supermarket. And after going to the supermarket, he forgets that he has come from his house. He thinks that is his own place. He goes, he runs from here to there, from there to there, from there to there. And he doesn't want to come back. Why he doesn't want to come back? Because he thinks that this is my home. But that is not his home. After some time, the supermarket will close. Lights will be off. He has to come back. In the same way, when we come to this world, we have forgotten from where we have come actually. We don't know. We think that this one is me. This is my body. This is my body. This body has taken birth. It's true. Who is within this body? Who is the one who tells the body, come, go, or don't go? I am hungry. But who is the one who tells me, eat this one? I can eat anything. But I don't eat everything. I eat a certain kind of food. Isn't it? I am hungry. I cannot go and eat grass. If I eat grass, then also my hunger will be satisfied. But we don't eat grass. We need some kind of food, which we call food. If the cow gets hungry, he will eat the grass. So, who is the person who chooses, who determines? He is not the body. He resides inside the body. Who is that person? We don't know. Okay, so you have to always remind. Spirituality means the guru always reminds you who you are. And that is why if you read the Bhagavad Gita, or if you read the Upanishads, Upanishad means Vedanta scriptures. If you read the Vedanta scriptures, you will see that the guru is always, is always telling you the same thing again and again. He's repeating you again and again, only the same thing. Why? To make you realize, to make you aware that what I think, what I believe, what I perceive is not the reality. Till you come to that point where you are not, where you are not capable of perceiving the reality, the guru will never leave you. The guru will keep on telling you the same thing again and again. Okay, so you know, so in this way, like there is a Upanishad called Katha Upanishad. Katha. Katha means distress. When a human, like yesterday when we were talking about, because there was a time limit, so we couldn't go into the details of that. Why do we have happiness? Why do we have pain? Why do we have to experience distress, adversities? Why do we have? It is only because in adversity we start to think, is it the reality? We start to come into this, into this terms with this reality. Is it everything that I know, or there is something else? You want to get liberated from this distress. So there is a sense of, there's an urge to liberate yourself. I want to get rid of this. But we think that if we can get rid of that given situation, then only we will get rid of everything, which is not true. Because when we are, when we are liberated from a given situation, we fall under another situation. Then again another situation. In this way, we just travel from situation to situation. And in this way, at one time, we really want to get liberated from every situation, all the situations. Okay, and that is the time when we come to the master. So Kathopanishad means a boy was distressed, a boy of 5 years. He was a boy, his name was Nachiketa. He's a very famous boy, in India or in spiritual circles. He's a 5-year boy. Nachiketa, his name is Nachiketa. His father, Bajasrava, is performing one Vedic sacrifice. Okay, in India you have seen, no? Vedic sacrifice. So there is one sacrifice. There is one Vedic sacrifice. If you do that, then you will attain heaven, living in your body. You don't have to die to go to heaven. Means even when you are in your body, then also you can go to the heaven. Okay. But there is a clause. There is a clause for that Vedic sacrifice, and that clause is that you have to give up everything. You have to donate everything. You have to give everything. You cannot keep anything. Whatever possession you have, you have to give up. So Nachiketa saw that his father was giving away those cows which they didn't need. Means the cows which cannot milk, his father was give these cows. His father was giving away those things which they didn't need. And the cows which were really, the cows which really gave milk, he didn't give away. He was keeping them. Nachiketa saw that by this, my father is not going to go to heaven. He is directly going to hell. Because he had full faith in the scriptures. The scripture says that you have to give up everything. Okay. So to make his father realize that, father, you are doing something bad, but he is just 5 years old. How can he make his father realize? So he comes to his father and he asks him, Father, whom are you going to give me? Means like I am your son, I'm also your possession. I'm also one of your property. So you have to give me also. By this, he was trying to make his father realize that his father was not giving away everything. But the father saw that he's a 5-year-old child. What is he talking about? Yeah, you go. Go and play. But after some time, again Nachiketa came and again asked the same question. Father, whom are you going to give me? And as he was, coming back again and again and repeating the same question, his father became very annoyed with him. And his father, told him, I am giving you to the Lord of Death. Go to the Lord of Death. So this small boy, 5-year-old boy, goes to the house of the Lord of Death. Okay, this is a beautiful story, Means just to explain Vedanta, how do we actually seek enlightenment? When we are in the state of distress, then only we seek enlightenment. So when we are seeking enlightenment because of distress, don't feel that you are the only person who is doing this. Everybody is the same. Enlightenment is sought by those who are in distress. So when distress comes, don't be distressed. Okay, treat it as a blessings of the Lord, because the Lord is trying to attract you. Come to me. Okay, so when he goes to the house of death, he sees that the Lord, Yama, his name is Yama. Yama is not in the house. Yama has gone to his relative's house to attend some program. And the people in his house, the people of Yama's house, his family members, he said, come to our house. Stay here, Yama will come. But the boy said, no. My father sent me to Yama. Before meeting Yama, I cannot come to your house. So he waited outside the house of Yama, unsheltered and unattended. He did not eat anything. He was staying outside the house. So after 3 days, Yama came. And Yama saw that, what is this? A Brahmin boy, small boy, is standing outside my house. And without food for 3 days. And without shelter. This is my, Brahmins, at that time in India, Brahmins were the highest caste. It's not about caste, it's about virtue. Means those people who had this highest virtue were considered to be Brahmins. So the son of Brahmin also was assumed to have the highest virtues. So a man of highest virtue is standing outside my house unattended and without food, without shelter. So it's like my own fault. It's like my sin. So Yama said that this has become very bad. So he called the boy, come. You have waited for me for 3 days and 3 nights. So for these 3 nights and 3 days, I am giving you 3 boons. 3 wishes. I will fulfill 3 of your wishes. You ask anything that you want. Okay. So the first thing that the boy asked was that, oh Yama, when I go back to my house, my father should be happy with me. Because when I was coming, he was very angry. Yama said, okay, it will be done. Now the second question was that, oh Yama, what is this fire sacrifice all about that my father was doing? Tell me about this. So Yama explained everything about that sacrifice. How many bricks are needed, how many wood is needed, what kind of wood, what kind of fire, what are the mantras, everything. You're going?
Yeah,
Okay.
my daughter's calling. I better go
Okay.
and if I can come back in, I'll come.
Okay. So he explained everything, all the details of that sacrifice, and then said he gave him one additional boon, that this sacrifice will be known after you. It will be called Nachiketa Yagya. That is, it will be called as Nachiketa sacrifice. Now it's time for the third question. So the boy asked, people say that after a man dies, then there is an existence of soul. Some people say like this. And some people say, no, the soul does not. Whatever it is here. Enjoy your life and just go. I want to know the reality of this. So Yama saw that this small boy actually is asking the greatest knowledge, the highest knowledge, the knowledge of the self, which many people doesn't know. So Yama said that, see, the question that you're asking me, see, this is heaven. I am the Lord of Death. I am also God. I live in this heaven. See, all these gods are there in this heaven. They're here. They're enjoying heaven, but they don't know this answer. So this is not important. You asked me, you asked me life, you asked me like more life, money, food, enjoyment, I'm giving you. He said, no. When I've seen you, I know that I can live till I want. And money is not necessary, because with money, I know that people is not satisfied. Okay, with money people are not satisfied. People doesn't have peace with money. So I want to know this reality of this soul. What is this? Either does soul exist? Is there any existence of soul or life after death? Or it's all about this world, that life is finished and that's all. Then Yama said that you become the king of the earth. Go and become the king of the whole earth. I'm making you the king. Or you do one thing, see those dancers, these ladies, beautiful lady dancers. They sing, they dance. You can keep them as your maid. Keep them. See those horses. See this whole, heaven. You can come here and you stay here. But don't ask this question. It means that, whenever a person wants to approach to the divine, there is always temptations which comes. The first Upanishad that we had is called Isha Upanishad. We have 118 Upanishads. Okay, Vedanta means 118 Upanishads. The first Upanishad, the primitive, the one that is the most primitive, most ancient of the Rig Vedas is called Isha Upanishad. This Upanishad, in this Upanishad, there is this history of how a man's journey towards the self was unfold slowly. How his intellect, how his wisdom grew, and at one time he wanted to know the truth. So in that Upanishad there is one mantra which says that Hiranmayena patrena shatyasyapi hitam mukham. There is the mouth, the head of the truth. The head of the truth, or the truth, is always hidden with a spectacular covering of gold, jewelry, and all treasure. So people go and get deluded in those treasures. They don't want to unfold it. They just, they go there to seek the truth. But then they find this gold, silver, jewelry, and then they get deluded. Okay, so this is how it is. Whenever you are approaching the divine, you will be always tempted by this world. The world will come with all its temptations, with all its, with all its riches, with all its treasures, to just deviate you from the path. So here Yama was also doing the same thing. You take this, you take that, you take this. Nachiketa said, you keep all this with you. You keep this girl, this woman, and these horses and this music. You listen all these things. But you tell me the truth. Then Yama was very happy. Yes, this is the right person. A person who is aspiring for knowledge should have this kind of character. He should have this kind of character that whenever there will be, whenever there will be temptations, he should not be tempted. He should have the capacity to resist it. Okay, so then he said, Shreyasya preyasya manushasya. He said, Nachiketa, okay, I'm now going to tell you about this truth. He said, see, there is always two paths which we all encounter. One is the path of Shreya, that is the path that we prefer, we should prefer. Okay, the path we should prefer. And prayer, the path that we really like. Like the food that you give us here is the food that we should eat. Healthy food. But we Indians like spicy food. So that is our prayer, The tea that you make, green tea is a preferred tea. People should drink that tea. But we Indians like unhealthy, unhealthy tea. But we like it, and that is why we take it. Chai. So one is called Shreya. That is one that will be beneficial to me. And the one that you will like. Shreyasya preyasya manushasya metasto. For human being, everybody will encounter these two paths all the time. One path will lead you towards enlightenment, and the other path will lead you towards darkness. Tau samparitya vivinakta dhira. But the wise man always holds the path which takes him towards the beneficial, towards the preferred. He never takes the desired one. Shreyasya preyasya manushasya metas tau samparitya vivinakta dhira. Shreyasya dhiro bhi preyasya brinute. Well, the wise, a man having his heart purified, a pure-hearted wise man will always seek the path which is beneficial to him, and in that way he will attain all the things which he really likes. Because when you are attaining the path which is beneficial to you, ultimately you have everything that you like. Okay, and prayer manda yoga kshemat brinute. And the one who takes the path of desires, they get very bad way of yoga, inferior quality of living standard, inferior quality of everything that they have in their life. So in this way he starts and he speaks about the self. What does he say about the self? How can the self will be attained? This is the most important thing. In the Bhagavad Gita, in the scriptures, it has been very clearly mentioned that though the self is imperceptible, you cannot perceive it. It's beyond your perception. It's infinite. It's beyond everything. So you cannot perceive it. Though you cannot perceive it, but you can feel it through your mind. Now, how can I feel that imperceptible with my mind? By making it free from all desires or attachments. The only way to get rid of our desires is to get rid of all attachments. We are attached to not only our body, we are attached to this. When today she was talking about this, we are free. We are free. Free means what? What is called freedom? What is called freedom? Freedom means freedom from all nature. Nature is binding us. Okay. Nature means not only hunger or thirst. This is also nature. Hunger, thirst is nature. Envy is nature. For unforgiving, being unforgiving is nature. We don't want to forgive people. Being selfish is nature. We are spiritual, but we are selfish. If that is the case, you will never attain enlightenment. Freedom means freedom from all natural things. All natural things that are present within you. Or not only physical, mental also. I am meditating, I am vegetarian. This doesn't mean anything. You can be vegetarian. You can be, you can live a life without everything. But you have to practice by living a life without natural inhibitions. Without these natural, these blocks, mental blocks. In Vedanta it says that we have 6 enemies with us. 6 enemies. What are those 6 enemies? Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mada and Matsarya. What are those? Kam. Kam means desires. Desires. Always we have desires. Why is desire so important to get rid of? We all have desires. Our mind is always creating these desires. But if you are in a spiritual world, you will see that everybody is trying to tell us to get rid of these desires. Why? Because these desires are covering our intellect. It's covering our wisdom. Abritam jnanam etena jnanino nitta vairinam. These desires are something which covers our wisdom. And these desires are the greatest enemy of human being, of a disciple, of a aspirant. Kam rupena konteya dushpurena analena cha. We think that I have a desire. If I satisfy this desire, then I will be free. We think like this, no? That I have a desire. If I satisfy my desire, then I will be free. You try to satisfy that desire, you will see that you have another desire, and you didn't have this desire actually. Yes.
What about the desire to be liked?
Everything is desired. Everything is desired.
But
Desire to be liked, desire to be disliked.
Is it bad? Is it that
Desires are bad.
even
If you are a good person, then people will like you. Why are you
so
desiring
the
yourself to be
desire
liked?
to be good? Is that a good desire?
Yeah, it's a good desire. It's a good desire.
And
It's better.
it's better.
It's better. But ultimately you have to leave that also.
Okay.
You have to go beyond good and bad. Because good and bad both are of the mind. Something which is good here is not good for India. Something which is good in India is not good here. But when something is not good here, it doesn't mean that it is bad. It is bad for me. Understand? Something which is good here is bad for India, but it doesn't mean that it is bad. It is bad for those people's mind. Those people whose mind is like this, for them it is bad. It is not bad. Nothing is bad or good. It is only our thought. Okay? So, desires. We have to get rid of our desires. How to get rid of desires? It says that try to have one desire. Because when there is a sometimes we see that some small thorn or something, it gets into our, stuck in our skin. So what do? We release that. We bring it out with another thorn, isn't it? So, if our body has got some infection, I have an infection in my body. So how do we treat it? We treat it with another infection. The medicine that I'm taking is also another infection, another bacteria. My body is suffering from a bacteria, and to relieve this bacteria, I need another bacteria. And that bacteria goes inside and kills that bacteria by which I was suffering. And after doing that, it has to go out of my body. If it does not go out of my body, then that bacteria will again create another bacteria. Understand? So, everything has to go out. So first of all, you have to have one pointed desire. One pointed desire to know the self. If you have one pointed desire, then only you will see that you will start to feel that freedom. You will start to feel the freedom. You will start to experience freedom from yourself, from within. Okay, so the only way to get rid of desire is to keep one desire, a desire to liberate, a desire to know the self. Okay, so in this way we have six. But if I go on telling them, maybe what is the time now?
It's 8:22.
8:22. How long should I say? Then it is the next one is called krodha. Krodha means anger. There is a beautiful way, in Bhagavad Gita which explains all these things. How these desires comes to us. How do we become angry? And when this desires comes to us, what does it create within us? Okay, there is a beautiful explanation given in the Bhagavad Gita. It says that dhayate vishaya pungsham sangasteshu pajayate. While you are going through your life, we think that I am living my life, but we are not aware that the life that we are living, the places that we are visiting, the things, the objects that we are always dealing in our day-to-day basis, unconsciously we are getting attached to all of them. We are not aware about that, but unconsciously we are getting attached to them. Okay, so if I am attached to something, if my attachment about something is more, then what happens? Sangat sanjayate kama. If my attachment about something is more, if it is very much, then it creates desires. From there, desires comes. Okay, and kamat krodho vijayate. But desires are never fulfilled. You cannot fulfill desire. Desires are like fire, which is just burning all the time. You think that I have this desire, I satisfy my desire, and that's it. It will never happen. That will create another desire. That will create another desire. In this way, you will just move in this circle of desire to desire, desire to desire. You cannot come out of that desire. Desires are this unending fire. Okay, so because of that, desires are not fulfilled. And when desires are not fulfilled, they create anger. Anger within us. Kamat krodho vijayate. When my desire about something is not fulfilled, I am angry. So how to get rid of anger? Don't desire. Try to not desire. Try to restrain yourself, control yourself. Control before it comes out, before it takes a shape which will be difficult for you to control it, stop it. Then there is a question that if I don't let my desire come out, how will I enjoy life? I am telling you, control your desire and then you see how you enjoy your life. If you really want to enjoy your life, you have to control your desires. Then only you will start enjoying everything. Enjoyment actually starts after you have controlled all your desires. Till you have desires, you can never enjoy. These desires will enjoy you. They will burn you. You will keep on burning. Okay, so kamat krodho vijayate. When the desires are not fulfilled, then you have anger. Now, when a person is angry, what happens? What happens? He is completely, like kamat krodho vijayate. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. When a person is, in the grip of anger, what happens? He is completely, hypnotized, isn't it? Hypnotized. He doesn't know what is going on, what I should do or what I should not do. He's completely hypnotized with anger. People shoot, people kill, people do crazy stuffs when they're angry. Means they are all hypnotized. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. They become hypnotized. And when they become hypnotized, then what happens? Sammoha smriti vibhrama. They forget. Suppose I am angry with my father. I'm angry with my father. When I'm angry with my father, I'm completely, in the grip of that anger, and I forget who is this person, what my father has done for me. I forget everything. I just tell things or do things because I have forgotten. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Sammoha smriti vibhrama. With this, with this total like hypnotism. When I'm in this total state of hypnotism, then I forget. I have a memory loss. Smriti bhranshad buddhi nasho. And with this memory loss, with this loss of memory, my intellect is destroyed. My wisdom is destroyed. Then I do whatever comes out. I don't use my wisdom. I am not able to use my wisdom. And when we come to this point, then what happens? Smriti bhranshad buddhi nasho. Buddhi nashat pranishyati. When we come to this point, when we have totally destroyed our wisdom, that is the time when we destroy ourselves. Okay, and that is why the first thing that if you see the world very, very minutely, you will see everybody has this problem. It starts with this small attachment. People are depressed. People are angry. People are burning. These are all symptoms. But if you see clearly, slowly, if you see, you will see that everything starts from their attachment. That attachment gives rise to one desire. This desire never fulfills. And that desire brings anger. That anger brings, he becomes hypnotized. And then he does things. And then he faces the consequences. But it all starts with this very small desire. And that is why it says that you have to always restrain yourself from your desires. And how? Have one desire. Always. One desire. One pointed desire. In Vedanta it says that akhanda brahmakara vritti. Vritti means thought. Thought. Okay. That thought, how that thought should be, it should be one and indivisible. Means all the time you should have this kind of thought. One thought. And that thought should be pointed towards Brahma, that self. And that thought should not be divisible. It should not, it should not get divided. It should be akhanda, means it cannot be broken. It's one desire. So, try to make this, try to make all these desires culminate into one desire. Or have one wish of attaining the self, and every day feed it so that it becomes so big that it can absorb all the other desires that you have. Like if we have a big wave, what happens is that it absorbs all the small waves. So here also, make this desire so big that it can absorb all the other desires into it. That is the only way to get liberated. Okay? And, though the thing that I was telling you, that though it is said that the self cannot be comprehended, though it is said that you can never perceive the self, but it is also true that your mind is capable of perceiving the truth. Manasa veda maptavyam neha nanasti kinchana. The only way to realize the self is to realize through your mind. This mind, which we say that this is, this is small, this is limited. This mind, when it is free from all desires, is the self. The mind that you are using, it is the fraction of the universal mind that you have. Why you see the fraction? Because that mind is attached with the desires, other desires, and that is why the one universal mind seems to be, divided into many small parts. It is one indivisible. It's one indivisible universal mind, and that is the self. That is the soul. That is knowledge. But because of these small desires, it appears to be, it appears to be various little thoughts. But these little thoughts does not exist. It appears to be like this. When you have one desire, then you see that there is actually no desire. I'm always this. I'm always this self. Where is this world? Where is this world? Where is this, universe? Where is this he, me, she? Where is this my own, or where is this liking? Where is this disliking? In this Upanishad itself, at one time it says, Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra taraka. It says that there is no sun, there is no moon, there is no star. Nema vidyato utoyam agni. There is no lightning. And where is fire? There is nothing. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Tameva bhantam. Only by knowing you, only by knowing him, only by knowing that self, I know everything. Because that self is everything. Though it appears to be different name, different form, but there is no difference. It's only one. There is no, there is no sun, there is no moon, there is no stars, there is no fire, there is no lightning. These are all creation of the mind. But when I see the self, tameva bhantam, when I see the self, when I realize the self, then I see that everything that is that. Everything that is. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasha sarvam evam vibhati. By his light, everything is enlightened. By the light of me, by the light of you, everything is enlightened. So this is Vedanta. Okay.
Thank you.